Do you want to beat a divine beast but only need the main points? Then this is the video for you. This is the Vah Ruta quick guide. What's up YouTube? I'm Kat from KKJinxx gaming for fun. And today we are going to take back control of Vah Ruta. Check the end of the video for a more in-depth guide to appeasing Vah Ruta. Without wasting any more time, let's go get this divine beast done. So first we talk to the king, and then we'll get our Zora armor, shock arrows, and then we'll do the divine beast. Okie dokie then. We are going to start in Zora's domain. On the first deck, you will find the store, the inn, and the shrine. And I will leave a link in the description for the Yohma shrine. So anyway, you want to head up the stairs, and when you think that you're done, head up the next flight of stairs until you find a giant fish king and his minions of racist water creatures. Upon talking to the king, he will tell you that he is King Dorphin and that they've been looking for a Hylian, and Link being the Hylian champion of old, they need his help to regain control of the divine beast, because they are super worried that the East Reservoir will break and flood all of Zora's domain as well as all of Hyrule. But there's one problem. Muzu over here, he knows exactly where to get shock arrows, which are needed to board the divine beast, but Muzu doesn't trust Hylians because he's racist, so he's not talking. So the king is going to give you the chest piece, which Mipha made herself, and this pushes Muzu right over the edge. So he storms off in a fit, and Prince Sidon follows. So the king is going to instruct you to go help talk some sense into that old fool stuck in his ways. So go down there, jump right into their conversation, and then shortly after, Link will conveniently and suddenly remember who Mipha is. And so then you get that memory. And then Prince Sidon convinces Muzu that Mipha had feelings for Link and made him this armor that fits him perfectly. And that is proof that what he is saying is true. So Muzu caves and spills the beans. He tells us that we can get shock arrows from Ploymus Mountain, but beware that there's a Lionel up there. But if you wear your sneaky armor and go unnoticed, you can sneak around and collect the shock arrows. But if the Lionel does start messing with you, retreat up to this hill or back down to where you came from. And if you do not have a picture of him, do not kill him yet. You need a picture of a red-maned Lionel to get the Zora Greaves. If you've been following along the quick guides, you should have been able to take a picture at the East Lanarute gate where we got our first memory. I already had more than 20 shock arrows when I showed up, so he just said, "Good job, meet me at the East Reservoir and let's do this thing." And then he dipped off. So before we go join him, we want to come up over here to this ladyfish and talk to her. And this will activate the Lionel Safari quest. Talk to her once more and show her the picture, and she will repay you with the last Zora Greaves from her father's shop. So that's 2 down and 1 to go. For the Zora Helm, we are going to need to go to Toto Lake, which is just north of Zora's domain. We can follow this around until you reach this waterfall, and then just go ahead and ascend the waterfall. Since you've got the Zora armor, you can do that now, and just continue on until you reach Toto Lake, right here. And in the top left corner of these ruins is where we will find our chest. So just use your magnesis, and dun-dun-dun-dun, Zora Helm. So once you have all 3 pieces and at least 20 shock arrows, we can head on over to the East Reservoir to meet Prince Sidon. Once you're there, you will see that there's a chest over here with a knight's shield, and go ahead and put that in your pocket. And if you need to refill your hearts, there is a bed over here. You can take a little nap before the big battle. And when you are all ready, go ahead and come down here and talk to Prince Sidon. And he will tell you the game plan and repeatedly ask you if you are ready. So make sure that you have your shock arrows equipped, and hopefully you have a straight shooting bow. I like to use any of the bows from Rito or the golden bows. So tell Prince Sidon that you are as ready as you'll ever be, and he will explain that you need to shoot those pink glowing orbs with shock arrows to board Vah Ruta. And he will get you close to the waterfall so you can ascend them and then shoot the orb. But first, they are going to chuck some ice cubes at you. Just activate your ice rune and break them. And then the prince will get you close to the waterfalls, and while you're up in the air, it is possible to shoot 2 orbs on one side before dropping back into the water. Just watch your stamina. So after you do drop back into the water, and Sidon picks you up, and he's going to take you to the other side where they will have ice spike balls come after you. What I like to do is I place an ice pillar behind me in the ice's path, and the pillar will actually cause that ball to break. And you have to do that 3 times and then ascend the waterfalls again. If you are unable to get all 4 orbs done in the 2 waterfall ascends, just rinse and repeat until all 4 are hit. Then Prince Sidon will swim you to where you can board the divine beast. Put your Sheikah slate to the guidance stone, and Mipha will go through her, "You made it, that's cool, go get the map and activate all the terminals, yay!" And that's just what we are going to do. When you first go in here, there's a malice eye. Go ahead and shoot it, and that's going to open your path. There's going to be a second eye in the water, and a small guardian scout to kill 2. Once you take care of that, start heading towards that closed gate. There is going to be a chest in the water to your left, and then use your Cryonis to lift the gate and get your map details. So,
Terminal number 1 is the easiest.
it's right here in the same room you started in. Just approach, spin the lever, and activate. It's just that easy. Then you're gonna turn around and come right out this doorway opposite of where you came in. Follow it up and around until you find another entryway. I forgot for a second that there was a Guardian Scout up here, and he's just a little bit stronger than the first one. But yeah, he's up here. Go ahead and kill to him. And then I like to come right around the side of this spinning cog, because here is terminal number 2. When the terminal is almost upright, put a Cryonis pillar in the thingy spraying the water to stop the cog from spinning. Jump on over and activate, and voila! Now we want to come into this entryway, which is opposite of the way you came in. Follow the ramp up, shoot the eye out, and continue to the next entryway. And here we are at terminal number 3. This one is a bit trickier. We need to use Vah Ruta's trunk to dump water on this cog to make it spin. So press pause and move the dial to the 3rd from the top. It'll feel like forever waiting for the trunk to make it up here, but once it does, we want to wait until the giant orb on a stick is up against its orb hole, because that keeps the terminal's gate open. So what we want to do is stasis it right before it's going to move from that spot. As the cog keeps spinning, we can get inside the terminal cage, activate it, and get the heck out of there. And if you want this chest, which I imagine that you do, since it has an ancient core in it, we basically wanted to do the same thing. But we want to separate this chest from the block stopping us from opening it. To save time, I changed the trunk to make it spin the other direction, let it drop to the edge of the cog, and then switch it back to the original direction. But before the whole contraption falls, stasis the top and quickly climb up here, grab your chest, and get out of there before the stasis runs out. So now we want to just jump right back down here and catch a ride on this cog. There is an eye in one spot holding a chest in a different spot. Feel free to grab that, but in this case, I didn't worry about it. Let this carry you up to the other side. When you get up here, you're either gonna wanna just jump off of here, or you can actually change the trunk dial and stop it before it gets there, but I like to just jump across. But there is going to be a Guardian Scout waiting for you, so kill to him, and if you like, you can step on that floor switch over there. It creates a waterfall that you can ascend to get back up here quickly, but if you're following along, you won't need it. So this brings us to terminal number 4. Now we wanna make our way down to the trunk. At this point, you're going to need the trunk all the way lowered. There is an eye block and a chest on the outside of the trunk. Feel free to grab that, but it's not worth it to me to have to do this twice because that will put me too low. So I'm gonna jump across to land on the tip of the trunk. Move the trunk to the top position and follow the movement to not fall off, because I did. Activate the terminal, and then we're gonna actually jump across to what looks like the elephant's brain, which brings us to terminal number 5. There is yet another eye on the right brain and a chest on the left brain. It is ice arrows in this chest, so I went ahead and collected it. But now we actually want to jump right down here and make sure you're staying high. Stop laughing. You want to come right in here. You don't want to go down too low. There is a malice eye in here. Shoot that out, and just like terminal number 1, spin that lever, and it opens up the sunroof. Move the trunk to dump the water in here because the terminal is on fire. It's too hot to handle. So be a fireman and jump down, and now activate. Now you have activated all 5 terminals, so we need to go to the main control unit. And now it's boss fight time, and this ugly mug belongs to Waterblight Ganon, one of Ganon's creatures. He's kind of a chump, but Mipha still lost to him 100 years ago. Thought she was supposed to be good, but what do I know? Anyway,
His first move, you either want to side hop or backflip to get a flurry rush.
and depending on how strong the weapon is that you are using, you may have to rinse and repeat. And that brings us to phase 2. He's gonna lift all 4 of these platforms. Find one opposite of him, because he's going to first throw ice cubes at you. The first time it'll just be the one. When it gets close enough, stasis it, whack it a few times in his direction. I like to have my Cryonis ready so I can get to the other side faster before he gets back up. But then he'll want to do that again, except he'll send a few more. Go ahead and use your Cryonis to break them until the last one, and then do the same as before and stasis it and hit him with it. And then go ahead and jump on over to him and hit him as many times as you can. If this does not defeat him, he may move on to phase 3, where he will aim his laser beam at you, and you can just try to shield deflect it, or you can shoot him in the eye hole until he's DED dead. Grab your heart container and get out of dodge. I also want to give a shout out to the Divine Beast cutscenes. They did a really good job on those, and it's trying to show you that Mipha and Vah Ruta got your back when it's time to fight Ganon. So they're going to return you back to Zora's domain, and dun-dun-dun-dun, you have Mipha's Grace, which is essentially a fairy that always comes back. So if you die, you won't die, okay? And that's it, boys and girls. Phew, that guide was sure quick. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to punch that bell square in the face so you don't miss out on any content released. This is KKJinxx, over and out.